What is going on, guys? It's your man Jay Will. So I wanted to give you a review of the Ulefone T1 Premium Edition. Now this phone right here, I was using it in the third SIM slot, and it held up pretty well. So first, I'm going to do this review a little bit different. Well, it's going to be this. I'm just going to kick back to what I normally go down a list of things. Sometimes I do this for phones when I want to target certain things, and sometimes I don't. Now, so first I want to start with the design of this phone right here. The design of the phone is kind of reminiscent of the OnePlus or the iPhone 7 Plus. You've got this full metal body. This one actually has a two-tone design here with the red and blue, and I think it really brings some light to this, some shine and some light to this design. You obviously got Type-C down here and one speaker and one mic, headphone jack on top, SIM tray right here, volume rocker and power button on this side with the dual camera setup and a dual tone LED flash. You've got a fingerprint reader on the bottom down here, camera and flash on the front with a speaker grill. So the design itself, it's pretty good. It's something that we're familiar with, so there's really nothing that I really dislike about it. It's just familiar. And it's a tried and true proven design. Either you love it or you hate it. And I actually really like the design of this phone. Hardware and everything on here is pretty solid, sturdy built foam. I didn't use it in a case the entire time since I bought it. And I tried that case on at the beginning with the unboxing weeks back, but I just never used the case. I didn't really take it out the house that much. And when I did take it out the house, it was in my pocket. So hooked to Bluetooth. So it held up pretty well. The hardware, no dings, no scratches, nothing. Hardware's looking pretty good. The design is really good. The screen on this thing is a 1080p display. And again, it's one of those tried and true 5.5 inch 1080p. This has Gorilla Glass 3. Not that means anything to me. It came with a screen protector, and I just left the screen protector on there. And it came with an extra screen protector in the box, so that helps as well. But the screen itself, I'm running Nova Launcher right now. But overall, when viewing content and looking at things on your display, it's a 1080p display. It's acceptable at this point. It should be bottom line. 1080p should be the new 720p, actually, the way I feel about it. But it's good, and I don't have any problems with the display at all. This isn't really a feature-rich phone. It's more of a stock Android device. Even with me having Nova Launcher, without Nova Launcher on here, it's still a stock Android feel to it. So let's go back here. I'm going to change it back to the default launcher here and set that as the launcher, and you can see how the device looks. Got the Google Now launcher on the side, and that's pretty much it, man. It's set up nicely. I got everything set up the way I wanted. Got my travel folder, shop, and social. That's it. I got it set up as I normally would, and it's a pretty solid phone. As far as the features go, it's definitely stock. Now, performance on here is something that I was kind of surprised at. The performance isn't bad. It's just not as buttery smooth as I thought it was going to be. And I could go into developer mode. Maybe I should do that. Go into developer mode and turn off, or turn the animations down or something, because it seems like it's just slow on the uptake especially with the fingerprint reader. The fingerprint reader, I'll scale this back to 0.5. Maybe that'll help. It just seems like it's moving slower than other phones that I get from GearBest, and this one has 6 gigs of RAM. So it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of weird. Maybe that'll help. I'll give you a follow-up video as well. But as you can see here, this has 6 gigs of RAM, and I've got 4.4 gigs available. So it just seems like from day-to-day tasks, it's not moving as fast as I want it to. It doesn't mean the performance is bad. It just seemed a little slower than I expected it to be. Now, I've got this processor in other phones, and it works out perfectly fine. But with this having 6 gigs, I thought it was going to be really snappy like the Octa Mix 2, or the Octa Mix 2, or however you pronounce it. That phone is buttery smooth and really fast with 6 gigs of RAM. So this one, maybe it'll improve now that I've changed that in the developer sections. But it's not bad performance, but day-to-day tasks, it runs great, but sometimes I feel like it's just not moving as fast. Also, the fingerprint reader is one of the slowest fingerprint readers I have ever seen on a phone. As you can see there, that is slow. I actually did press it, and you can count maybe 1 to 2 seconds. It's just really slow, and that's a matter of the software, and and optimizations and things like that. Now, where this phone shines, obviously, is battery. The battery is, I did have a SIM card in here, by the way, because this phone actually gets, for those that are looking at the signal, I took the SIM card out. I normally put it in airplane mode, but I was charging, and the deal. I switch SIM cards around a lot, but this is full LTE compatible with the US, and I'll go ahead and pop a SIM card back in here, by the way, so I can show you. This is fully compatible with LTE in the US, if you're wondering. Don't be alarmed. I promote a lot of phones from GearBest, and this is one that I definitely recommend. $260 for this is a steal, because you're getting 6 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs memory. Over LTE with this phone, I found that it worked perfectly fine. No problems. There you go, 4G LTE with this phone. And then it switches to 3G. It does have 4G LTE. There you go. It's just kind of searching for the signal for now. But it does have 4G LTE and also has voice over LTE. As you can see there. A lot of places, a lot of these GearBest phones don't use the phones from overseas don't use the signal LTE, but this phone has voice over LTE. Let's start getting all these notifications. This is why I hate to have SIM cards in phones, and yeah, hold on a second. Okay, but nonetheless, this phone works with LTE in the US, full blown, ready to go, and it's good. Now, I was going to talk about battery. Battery life in here in this phone has a 3,680 milliamp hour battery in here. These are just old notifications coming in from later. It has a 3,680 milliamp hour battery in here, and it runs like a champ. It's really good. It'll last you throughout the day and into the next day, because you're not pushing too much for power here. It runs great. It runs fantastic. So price wise, this cost $260. I'll have a link in the description. Of all the phones that I get from GearBest, with the Xiaomi Mi A1 being on top, I definitely could recommend this one in my second slot. This is a premium design, and it runs like a champ. Cameras on here, they're good. They're really good. They're not knockdown, drag out, just amazing good, but they do have it does have a telephoto lens, and I can appreciate it because this phone is really nice. Quality is gonna be, there we go, pretty decent, but for the price, I was taking photos of stuff. For the price, it's really good. The quality on here is really good. I can show you. It also records in 4K or 1080p. I'm sorry. But someone told me to add in the Google app, which I never did. I just didn't do it. I was like, I don't really want to tweak it for what it is. Top quality there is 1080p, and the 1080p is actually pretty decent. It's nothing that's going to make you say, oh my gosh, but at least it has the ability to record in 1080p, not 60 frames per second, but just regular 1080p. But for the price and the premium package you're getting here, I think it's a win-win. I think you'll be really happy with this. So it's your man Jay Will, kind of a mini review or a full review for the Ulefone T1 Premium Edition. I can recommend this phone. It's really good. 4G LTE for the US. It's hot, man. I think you'll like it. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.